This is the series finale of Fighters Brew. If you haven't already figured it out, Fighters Brew isn't a faithful recap show, but a fanfic remix. What if Fighters Brew Jim was stumbling onto the liberation martial arts philosophy? How would that affect the story? After this episode, you'll find out how it all led to this finale. Fighters Brew is dedicated to my boy Lex, with whom I started this project, but never got to see what LMA has become. I hope I made you proud. Rest in grace and power. Miss you.
Fighters Brew.
Season 3, Episode 10. The final episode. One day while Takashi and Meguru were still young boys, they walked by a creek. "Hey Takashi," Meguru said, "do you want to be strong or do you want to be happy?" "Aren't those basically the same?" Takashi asked. "You think?" asked Meguru. Today, as nearly adults, Meguru and Takashi are competing in the finals of the Shudo Nationals. Takashi has found a new sensei, whereas for Meguru, training has changed. It's no longer a relationship with a master, but a relationship with a team. "Listen, Meguru," says Furuya. "Takashi might have practiced his techniques to perfection, but that's nothing to be scared of. That's why you'll beat him. He's like the perfect recording of classical music. Beautiful to listen to, but it's exactly the same every time. Meguru, you're jazz." For Takashi, this is life or death. He's putting a lot of pressure on himself. But this is just an amateur MMA match. It's not life or death. If you win, great. If you lose, that sucks. But that's it. It's all the same. You're just a kid. And you're doing this because this is fun. Remember, have fun. And it's no fun unless you give it all you've got. Meguru smacks his gloves together. Right. He steps into the ring. Takashi is already waiting on the other side. I used to envy Meguru, Takashi reflects. He was always so free. Even when we competed, I hated losing and blamed myself. Meguru was a free spirit, expressing himself regardless of the results. I wanted to be special. He wanted to be Meguru. I wanted to be perfect. He wanted to have fun. I wanted to be strong. He wanted to be happy. That's fine. We're different branches of the same tree. One thing's for sure, though. There's no way I'll let him be stronger than me. Meguru takes a deep breath. "Fight!" the ref yells. His voice echoes through the silent crowd. The lightweight final is underway. The tension is palpable. Takashi starts with a high kick. Meguru blocks, but his arms go numb. I've sparred Takashi countless times in karate. It's not that he's changed. He's just a more refined version of who he was as a kid, pressuring with kicks and dictating the flow. But he has no idea who I am. I don't even know who I am. I'm still becoming. Meguru fakes the body punch and throws a right overhand. Takashi blocks and grabs Meguru by the neck. He throws an uppercut, but Meguru sees it coming. Takashi throws another left high kick. Meguru blocks. Who's got more tricks up their sleeve? Kagaya asks himself. Meguru pressures with punches, but Takashi regains all the lost ground with one kick. Furuya told me Takashi's pride won't let him allow even one jab to land, Meguru thinks. He'll try to finish me with a perfect score. His obsession to control the fight is his weakness. Takashi pushes Meguru into the ropes. Here we go, Meguru thinks. He fires another overhand. Takashi dodges and throws an automatic counter. Meguru sees it coming and fires an uppercut. It lands. For the first time, Takashi is down. A fight is not a kata, Meguru thinks. It's not just about you. You're not the only participant. We do this together. Denying my existence and fighting selfishly is why I can beat you. How many teammates did you help, Takashi? How many of them were there to lift you up? You're fighting by yourself and for yourself. I'm fighting with my team and for my team. Your training has no soul. You're a record on repeat. Takashi quickly gets up. His pride won't allow him to stay down for long. It's unclear whether he's recovered. Meguru attacks, but Takashi kicks him away. Takashi lands a jab, followed by a knee and a sweep, and dumps Meguru onto the mat. He's regained his composure, Maria says. He's moving from technique to technique, just as he practiced. Being able to do things automatically is how he derives his confidence. Meguru is getting battered. I'm still hurting from my last match, he thinks. My ribs are killing me, but I'm better at taking it than you, Takashi. You've always been bad being the one on the receiving end. Takashi fakes a front kick and switches stances to land a lightning-quick jab. Undeterred, Meguru shoots for a tackle. Takashi breaks free. Meguru, relentless, chases with a flurry of punches. Takashi backs up and lands a perfectly timed front kick to Meguru's chin. Just like that, Meguru is down. Get up, Meguru thinks. It's not over. Meguru takes his time getting up. His team is worried. Their concern gives him strength. The fight continues. Meguru blocks another high kick. He shoots, but Takashi sprawls and takes his back. Meguru fights the grips and escapes, but Takashi stays on top and gets mount. Takashi is up on points. He spins for an armbar and gets more points. Meguru defends, and the first round ends. Meguru goes to his corner, breathing hard. In Takashi's corner, Tsukisada-sensei tells Takashi, the KO will come on its own. Meguru, Furuya says, you know what I think? I think during your karate days, you decided Takashi was better than you. But the sensei was his grandfather. It was Takashi's gym. He was always going to be king. He still thinks he's king, and that you're beneath him. You don't need to look up to him. You don't need to prove anything to him. Stare him eye to eye. You've worked hard. Believe that you've prepared for this moment. Show the results of your effort. Fight hard and don't regret today. Even if you beat him, you still have a lot of growing to do. It's our job to help you. If you can't trust yourself, trust us. You can beat him. Takashi stares at Meguru. Meguru doesn't avert his gaze. I see you, he thinks. Your shadow doesn't tower over me anymore. The second round begins. Meguru fires a right body kick. Takashi blocks and fires his own left middle kick. Meguru blocks and fires his right again. Takashi covers his body, but the kick changes arc and comes down toward his neck. It lands. Takashi fires back with punches. Meguru misses his opportunity to follow up. You're not that calm, Meguru thinks. You're still that scared kid. Meguru swings a right. Takashi clinches. Meguru hits him with an uppercut. Takashi is stunned. Meguru spins for his back, but Takashi reverses and takes Meguru's back. Meguru escapes. A note to our listeners. If you love the Southpaw Project, please support us and help us get paid for our labor by financially supporting us on Patreon. This will give you access to exclusive bonus content, like transcripts, early releases of Southpaw Deep Space Nine, our fictional narrative podcast, Fighters Brew, break-free versions of our shows without interruptions like you're hearing now, bonus articles, Fighters Brew transcripts with extra content, Liberation Martial Arts Online, as well as our private chat group on Discord. You can also make one-time donations at Ko-Fi or show your solidarity by wearing our swag. You can find all pertinent links at southpawpod.com. They stand face to face again, on even ground. Takashi goes for the uppercut. Meguru parries. They trade hooks. Meguru gets the better of it. Takashi stumbles back. Meguru tackles him to the mat. Takashi gets up, but Meguru sticks with him. They crash into the corner. Meguru clings on and lands punches on Takashi like Ayako did to Maki. That kick, Furia says. Meguru injured Takashi's shoulder. Takashi is bloodied, but turns around and escapes the corner. Meguru throws a right high kick. Takashi blocks, but his shoulder rings. Why is Takashi in an orthodox stance? Meguru thinks. Did I injure his shoulder? That means he can't attack with his right. They're off the script. Meguru fires the right overhand. Takashi backs up. Meguru fires again. This time, Takashi blocks with his left and throws an uppercut to Meguru's stomach with his injured arm. Meguru is hurt. Takashi grabs him and lands a knee. Meguru backs up to the ropes. Unlike you, Takashi thinks, I'm fighting to win. You're fighting for fun. Takashi fires a left high kick. Meguru blocks, but still goes down. The referee starts to count. I can't see out of my left eye, thinks Meguru. How am I supposed to fight? This is bad. Wait. Why am I getting up? Furia holds the towel tightly in his hand. Wait, Meguru thinks. My vision is slowly coming back. Why is Furia holding the towel in his hand? No, I don't want it to end here. Takashi kicks, but Meguru dodges. He's a blur, thinks Meguru. How well do I need to see to miss? Takashi also doesn't know I can't see. Meguru throws uncommitted punches. Since they're not meant to hurt, Meguru is able to maintain his defense against Takashi's counters. He feels his way to Takashi. He shoots. Takashi sprawls, but Meguru fights to lock his hands. They end up in the corner again. 40 seconds left. They fight in the clinch. Takashi has given up on winning by finish and is going for a decision. 30 seconds left. If he's expecting me to push into him, what if I do this? Meguru thinks. He backs up and spins for a back fist. Takashi leans right into it. He's staggered. Meguru rushes, but Takashi instinctively grabs him. Thank you, thinks Meguru. Now I know where your chin is. Meguru lands an uppercut. Takashi is stunned, both physically and mentally. He goes down. Is he smiling? Asks Furia. Meguru's face is bruised and battered, but he's smiling. Fun, Meguru thinks. The fight resumes. There are 20 seconds left. There's no time, Meguru thinks. I have to take the initiative. There's nothing that could happen to me that I haven't already faced. That's my advantage. I've been through worse. He hasn't. Let's go. Meguru drives forward with punches and ends with a right high kick. Takashi, like clockwork, blocks and throws a right counter. Meguru ducks and tackles. Takashi stays on his feet. Meguru jumps on his back. 15 seconds left. Meguru gets the points. I've drilled this escape 1,000 times, Takashi thinks. No more decisions and judges, thinks Meguru. To everyone's shock, Meguru gives up the back, just as Maki gave up the mount. Takashi is unsure of where Meguru is and turns around. Meguru grabs his neck. Thank you for guiding me, Takashi, Meguru thinks. He lands a knee and another. Takashi collapses. The ref stops the fight. Meguru wins the Shudo Nationals. A month passes. Both Meguru and Takashi can go pro. At the Kanto Open, Yudai also earns his pro qualification by coming in second. Keiji Mitsuya takes first. At the Open, Meguru spends most of his time talking to Kaoru. Yudai pulls Meguru aside. Be honest, he says. How do you feel about Kamiya? What do you mean? Meguru asks. Are you dense? Try thinking about how she feels for once. Maki-chan? Asks Meguru. Who else? Says Yudai. I know it's none of my business, but don't leave her hanging. Make up your mind. Meguru spends the rest of the night thinking about Maki. The next day, Takashi is fishing in a man-made fishing stream. Yo! Shouts Meguru. What are you doing here? Takashi asks. I asked the guys at your gym where I could find you. How's your shoulder? Fractured collarbone. How's your eye? Retinal tear. Got it lasered. So what do you want? I'm going pro, but I'm not entering the Rookie Cup. Gotta study. You're not cut out for the pros. Yeah, you told me already. Listen, I'm gonna compete welterweight from now on. It's getting hard to stay under 65 kilograms. I'm still growing. Yeah. So, we probably won't meet in the ring again. I don't want this to be like a boxing manga. Yeah, constantly waiting for each other would be sad. Miyata, get over it. Why are you going pro? Takashi asks. Because it's fun. And I'm going to become a Shudo champion. Yeah? Yeah. Why not me? Takashi smiles. Since we're not in the same weight class, why don't we train together? Asks Meguru. At a park, Maki is sitting on a bench by herself. All right, she thinks. As soon as he gets here, I'll tell him before I miss my chance. I just want to get it off my chest. Whatever happens, happens. Hey, Maki, shouts Meguru. Maki is startled. They walk around the park. Sorry I called you here so suddenly, Maki tells Meguru. It's good timing, actually. I wanted to ask you something. Okay, here goes, Maki thinks. Meguru, Maki-chan, Meguru interrupts. Will you go out with me? Maki nearly falls over. Really? She says. Yup. You sure you want a girlfriend like me? Yes. But I'm taller than you. I don't mind. Be careful. You'll make me think you're serious. I am. But I'm weird. It's cute. Okay then. I'm gonna tell everyone I'm your girlfriend. You're okay with that? Please do, champ. Meguru reaches his fist out. Okay, champ. says Maki as she pumps his fist. We might be the first Judo National Champ couple, he says. I like the sound of that, says Maki. The end. We finished it, Lex. It's been fun using narrative to teach the liberation martial arts approach. Fighter's Brew is ultimately a story about the normative mechanistic approach to martial arts and the LMA approach, and how these approaches lead to different martial arts journeys. If that sounds appealing to you, sign up for Liberation Martial Arts on Patreon. If you want more content like this and want to keep the Southpaw Project going, consider financially supporting us. Thank you for listening to Fighter's Brew for all these years. Lex is gone, but all of us will keep growing together. Things can and will come and go, but we'll keep growing and need each other to grow. That's been the theme of Fighter's Brew. I think Lex would have liked that. See ya!